So dukkha, we've begun to look at dukkha, unsatisfactoriness. I'm going to start with reading the quote that Bill used yesterday. Your task is not to seek love, but merely to seek and find all of the obstacles that you have built against it. Right? To seek and find all the obstacles that you have built against it. That's Rumi. Having can be an obstacle to happiness. There, I said it. It's true. Having can be an obstacle to contentment, to love, to an open heart. This is the dukkha of having, the burden of having enough, or as many of us do, more than enough. It may seem strange to think about that having can be an obstacle to love and to happiness and satisfaction, but it can be especially so in a consumer-driven society that is founded on the premise of lack, of having us believe that we don't have enough or the right thing to make us happy, to keep us happy, perpetually happy. Have you heard the saying, the one with the most toys wins? That is the epitome of consumerism. It all starts early. We're taught to want toys. As children, we're taught to believe that the toys will make us happy. And then as teens, we're taught about other things, that clothing, computer games, and cell phones will make us happy. Oh, it doesn't stop there. It keeps going right on into adulthood, where the toys get more sophisticated, but toys they are. Here's one. This happened this year. We bought a cat condo. When the cats came to BCBS, they were accustomed to living in our home, which there was a lot more space where they could run around in. But here in a 600 square foot cabin, we were concerned, that they'd get bored. So Bill, being a good dad, bought them a cat condo. Not any kind of condo, mind you, but the Cadillac of condos. 3 levels with 2 scratching posts, a hammock, and a penthouse pad at the top. But they didn't use it. They didn't use it. And we got frustrated that they didn't use it. Eventually, the girl cat began gnawing away at it. So piece by piece, I slowly dismantled it until finally the only thing that remained were the 2 scratching posts and the frame around it. And I just put up a series of boxes, and that was all they wanted. It was just that. We adults had assumed that they wanted more. We anthropomorphized them. And along with more toys, we are taught to simply want more of what we have. That bigger and better is better, more satisfactory. We're taught to compete for resources, to be the top dog in the pecking order of life, and that this will secure our happiness. Careful, careful. Now we're moving into sneaky territory. Imagine that within the past few years, you bought a really nice car, the nicest one you've ever had. And then your best friend gets an even better one, maybe a Tesla or the newer model, some deluxe version of something or another, and we feel a pang of envy, right? Or we don't want to share out of fear of losing too much. Frugal gone awry, such that we withhold. We don't want to share or even offer that bite or piece of our favorite chocolate cake or share the limelight. We compete and compare, not wanting someone else to have more than we have. Prestige, wealth, power, success. Once we have, we don't want to lose. Let go. In fact, having can make us want to hold on even more. It can make us want to withhold. It's strange how in this land of plenty where there's such abundance for us, right? And in many cases, this abundance of resources, we still feel that we don't have enough. Capitalism leaves us wanting. It sets us up, feeds this urge of wanting and having so badly. We're made to feel impoverished, to feel a sense of lack. which in turn sets up this unending search for a more stable and perfect kind of happiness. Good luck with that. We learn through advertising and from our elders that what we don't have, don't want, and what we should have and what we should want. These messages prey on our basic human instinct for safety, security, comfort, and the feeling of love. And it all rests on this premise of lack, of scarcity, of non-satisfaction, AKA dukkha, of not having enough. As Bill said yesterday, it's that feeling of always, almost having enough, right? And what does that do? It keeps us wanting for more of something else, more of what we have. Yes, yes. Wanting has its heartaches. Having can make us feel embarrassed, ashamed, uncomfortable, by contrast to what others have or don't have. I first encountered that feeling around age 4. I would see these infomercials about children from other countries who were dying of malnutrition, and it made no sense to my kid mind. None. How come I had enough and they didn't? What was different? They're my age or younger. They had far less than I did. It was hard to feel that kind of pain because it seemed so unnecessary. And as a result, I felt embarrassment when I received Christmas gifts because I didn't need them. I didn't need them. They weren't essentials. Having can make us want to hold on to more, causes us to protect and defend what we do have. It encourages us to still want more, like the new shiny object that advertisers tell us that we need in order to be happy. We get a new phone a year or two ago, and as soon as the new version comes out, we feel that the old one isn't good enough. We'll even find reasons that support our need, right? That is, it's our desire. Our desire for the new is being disguised as a need. Having makes us want more security and more things. You see, we humans do this thing called narcissistic recalibration. That's how our dear friend, psychologist and colleague Ron Siegel describes it. We have a goal, we achieve it, and immediately reset it to a higher one. We're never quite satisfied with what or where we've arrived. Therefore, we don't appreciate it, right? Don't some of you remember this from exams? The fear of not passing your SATs or a licensing exam, and then you pass, but instead of noticing that, we immediately aren't satisfied and wish that we had gotten a higher score. Wait. Where was the scared part that I wasn't going to pass? Where did that fear go, right? Where's the joy that I passed, that celebration? Gone because I've just upped the stakes again on myself. Nobody else did that but me, right? It's subtle, the tricks of the mind. Think about again when you're a teenager or just finishing school and you really wanted to get your own place. Emancipation, freedom, let me get my apartment, which only leads then to at some point wanting a house and then a bigger one and in a better neighborhood until, like that old cartoon character, Elmer J. Fudd, for those of you who remember, the famous line, "I am Elmer J. Fudd, millionaire. I own a mansion and a yacht," right? That's what he would walk around saying, but he was never happy. And still, we aren't satisfied. We want more. Buddhist cosmology describes a class of beings that are known for this kind of dukkha. They're called hungry ghosts. Creatures with enormous bodies and incredibly long, thin necks. So thin that it's hard to even get nourishment. So they're never sate. They're never satisfied. Always hungry, looking for more. It's a painful existence. And I've worked with a few millionaires in my life, and it's true. Wealth can be an albatross. It doesn't make you happy. Having sets us up for the fear of not having and for the fear of losing. There is more at stake than if I had nothing. Having sets us up for comparing, for envy, for jealousy, for what others have. Having sets up the conditions to make us want to hold on even tighter to what we do have so we don't lose it. Can you feel the dissatisfaction? Can you feel the inherent burden in that? Some of us sitting here have enough, have more than enough, more than enough. We have what we need to survive, the essentials: water, food, shelter, clothing, and then some. These, the monastics call the prerequisites, the requisites for supporting life. We've got them. We have more than we need. We have also creature comforts, extra blankets to feel cozy, artwork to inspire, electronic devices for convenience. If we are sitting here in a warm, dry place with food in our belly, clothes on our back, clean water to drink, and you are sitting here listening to this on some device, you too have more than enough. I sure do. I know I do. But do we see this really? And if we do, how do we relate to this bounty? How do we work with the dukkha of having? Are you ready? Notice what you have. That's always the first order of business, folks. Notice, raise your awareness to what seems so ordinary it's easy to miss. Notice the conveniences and the pleasures that are here in the immediate surroundings. Notice and appreciate what you have. Interrupt the habit of comparing. Comparing yourself to an ideal or to another person or to yourself, younger, older, different version, doesn't help. Give more attention to noticing what is right here before you. Acknowledge that and appreciate that. The small blessings. It doesn't have to be so, but here we are, right? Here we are. Practicing appreciating, even if you don't feel it. Concretely, literally, doesn't matter whether you feel it. You know what's true. Just look around. Do you have enough? Right? Just notice and acknowledge that. Appreciate that. Not out of pride, not with guilt, not out of some wish to cultivate, but out of a wish to cultivate humility, out of a wish to feel into the spaces of contentment and ease that are available to us, out of simply seeing what is, the blessings that appoint the ordinariness of our day. No judgment. No judgment for what you have or what you don't have. Just appreciate what's there. This is the practice of gratitude. And this is the basis on which we grow our hearts to be less pained by having and not having. We can lessen the dukkha that comes with having by noticing and appreciating these blessings, right? The gratitude. But gratitude also sets us up to give more easily. We have to recognize and feel that we have enough before we can really offer out to other people without harming ourselves, without feeling like we're doing harm. And with time, we come to see that we have enough and feel that sense of enoughness. Our hearts start to feel more at ease. We can sense that. And out of this place is when we can begin to practice generosity, practice giving. And there's a word for that in Buddhism, and that word is dana. It is a remedy for the habit of holding on to our possessions. But be careful with this generosity, with this act of giving, because it's really easy to get into our dualistic thinking of the good me and the bad me, the good me that gives and the bad me that doesn't. That good, bad dualistic thinking is our habit. And mindfulness runs counter to that. Mindfulness is about inclusiveness. So here are just a few tips about giving. In the practice of mindfulness, the encouragement is not to give beyond our means or give less than our means, but what is appropriate to the occasion. In other words, give without being grand or stingy. Notice the extremes and try to come back to balance. There are many ways of giving, not just money, not which is our capitalistic default setting. The elders give us time and energy. They give us patience, knowledge, love, care, support. These are gifts beyond measure, beyond measure. Gratitude and giving, noticing and appreciating, these are antidotes for the dukkha of having. The dukkha, this kind of dukkha comes with the package of being human. But this kind of dukkha, we have to learn to be in right relationship with. Noticing and appreciating, gratitude and giving, these help us to appreciate and let go of the dukkha of this holding on. All right? Thank you so much. Thank you.